Here we are again with another news flash. We have another big trade, this one involving the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm joined by quite a few people this time, Stefano, Luke, and Lucas, sorry. Thank you all for joining me. So this time, a lot of people predicted this to happen, but Scott Laughton is heading to Toronto. It's a Laughton, a 4th-round pick, and a 6th-round pick for Nikita Grebenkin and a 1st-round pick. So there's a lot to unpack with this deal. That's why I have a lot of you here. Stefano, I know you like the prospect. You cover the Marlies. So what do you think about Grebenkin going out of Toronto?
Grebenkin was honestly a shocker of a name that I saw, including the trade. A lot of the Toronto media and everyone else had Minton, Cowan, potentially recent draft pick Van Danford going along. But seeing Nikita Grebenkin go is good or hurt, especially for the Leafs, is because it really helped encapsulate something they really wanted, which is grit and physicality. In his short tenure with the Leafs, when he was called up, he became an instant fan favorite because of how aggressive he is on the forecheck and what he can do well in front of the net. And that's something that we're going to see, especially that Philadelphia Flyers fans would really like as it comes to their entire episcope of what they bring to the ice, and that's crashing the net, physicality, while having a really skillful set of shooting the puck and can move the puck really well. During the Marlies, he played really well with Minton and some of the other prospects as well. And when it came to being able to use his assets really well, he wasn't able to use it much on the Leafs, playing the 3rd and 4th line. So it's going to be something the Marlies are going to miss, but with the Leafs being able to keep some of the more skillful forwards like Minton and Cowan for the future to come, it's going to be a price they're going to have to pay.
So, Justin, do you like that return? 2027 1st-round pick and everything you've just heard from Stefano. Do you like that?
Well, Laughton didn't really fit long-term. He's kind of up there in age. He's not old, but he's not young at this point either. He's 30. He's been with the team since really he debuted in 2013. That is 12 years ago at this point. He has spent his whole NHL career with the Flyers. And to be able to leverage a 3rd-line guy who can sometimes play 2nd line if you really need him to, but more or less a 3rd-line guy, to get a 1st-round pick and to get what they got, I think is a pretty good return. I think it's going to be a leverage type of thing with the draft picks. Again, you never really know. This is a pick not for this season. It's for 2027 from what we know right now. It's just, I'm not sure if they use it. They might trade it for another player. Grebenkin is actually a pretty good addition. I was looking at the stats just right as the trade happened. Last year in the KHL, he was a top 3 points per game player under the age of 21. The top 3 was Michkov, ironically, at number 1, and Yurov was at number 2. He's a good wild prospect, and number 3 was Grebenkin. So the Russian aspect there is pretty interesting, and I just like the return. I think they got what they needed, and for a bottom 6 guy that they wasn't really a part of their future, I think they did good there.
Yeah, and the Flyers, I mean, they're doing pretty well with their Russian players. So, like, you got a couple goaltenders coming over. You got Michkov, now you got Grebenkin. They like their young Russians right now. So maybe Yurov will be over next. All right, Lucas, what do you think about bringing Laughton into the lineup? Is he going to win them around?
Nice little jab there. I think the Scott Laughton fits exactly what the Toronto Maple Leafs need. All year they've been looking for a 3rd-line center. They've basically been looking for a 3rd-line center since Ryan O'Reilly left and didn't want to return. I heard that they even kicked tires on him, but he just didn't want to go there. 3rd-line center has been a void, I guess, for a lot of the Matthews, Marner, Nylander era in Toronto. So to get Scott Laughton, who literally lives in my hometown, I'm currently about to write something about him for the Oakville News. Toronto kid, probably grew up loving the Leafs, fits exactly. He is what they need. They've been trying Max Domi at center all year. It just hasn't worked out. You know, he's really struggled, and people have been down on him, being like, "Oh, he can't play," well, because he's not playing his right position. So now they're going to bring in Laughton, who is a bona fide center at the 3rd-line spot, maybe even 2nd-line spot he was playing in Philadelphia. But now he'll get to go to the 3rd-line spot. It'll be a perfect position for him. He'll be able to help out in that bottom 6, even middle 6 spot for the Leafs. And I think he's really going to contribute well, especially in the Berube system. And I really like this pickup from the Leafs. I think that I originally wasn't the biggest fan of what they gave up, but the fact that now we just heard that it's a 2027 first, that's also top 10 protected. So kick that down the way. You don't even. How old is that kid now? Is he 16, 7, 15? The 2027 first round pick.
Yeah.
So you get someone who is already established, and they didn't have to give up Fraser Minton, who is probably who they want to replace Scott Laughton in the future. So I think all parties worked out for the Leafs, and I think that the Flyers got a really good return. But I honestly think that this is a really, really good move for the Leafs, and I really think that Brad Shilling hit a really, really, I don't want to say a home run yet, but I think he definitely hit a double right here.
Double, yeah, not a ground out for sure. No, I like the deal. I don't love the price, but that's just what the price is right now. And you do it without giving up one of those big three prospects. I think that hearing from Leafs fans, they're a bit overzealous about those prospects. I think they're all going to be NHL players. But I mean, like, people are, I don't know, I've just heard ridiculous reasons to shut down a trade with those three players. And so giving up Grebenkin, I mean, I expect that he'll be a middle six scoring winger, a complementary piece on a second line, or even leading the way on a third line. Somewhere around there is what I see. So yeah, I think that both teams get what they want out of this. I was surprised to see Laughton move to Toronto and Domi not be on the other way. I'm surprised Domi's still around in Toronto. I mean, we've still got an hour and 40 minutes left until the deadline, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. And so thanks to all three of you for joining me on this. Did any of you have a last comment?
Nope. I wish, obviously, this has been a really interesting trade deadline. As we're finishing up, the Mikko Rantanen trade is apparently also finishing up, so more news to come. All
right, so that'll kind of segue us into our outro here. I'm sure we'll see you in just a few minutes with another deal. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on right now, and all the stuff is being covered on the Hockey Writers YouTube channel, on the hockeywriters.com, with lots of trade grades, lots of breaking news and analysis, and everything you could ask for. So all that content all across the Hockey Writers social network, and we'll see you on the next episode.